All right, let's look at our Bitcoin, the dominances just for today. And tomorrow we'll do an altcoin video. So let's get into it. Let's start with the others dominance. So the others dominance on the month, on the weekly. I mean, we can actually even start from the monthly chart because that's important. So on the monthly chart, you can see here, um, we've kind of dropped level one drop, level two, level three, we had a move, and then we've dropped another level. Is this lower? We have another level drop from here to here, another level drop there, and we've dropped another one again. So we've got kind of like five clear levels to the downside. Um, we've taken the liquidity. We didn't take all of this, but we took some of it. We've taken some of that liquidity here, which was surrounding here. We've had a very good inverted hammer. So this was an inverted hammer. It's been followed by a green candle. I think we'll be going higher in September. Um, the worst case scenario would be a pullback to the base of this candle. So if you bring it to the weekly, okay, so the weekly chart, we're going sideways. We're going sideways. It's been a sideways movement since August. So August the 4th, this is all sideways consolidation for me. So I think this shifts itself back up. It goes up. Again, the week is not closed, so I'll just caveat that, the week is not closed, but it looks like we are kind of maintaining above the 20 EMA. We closed above the 20. They tried to push it, they couldn't push below the 20. And now we're having a candle that's also above the 20. This is looking really strong and really good. So, provided Sunday midnight we close like this, I'd expect us to maybe pull back a little bit and then continue the journey to the upside. If you bring it to the daily chart, again, you can see that we are in this kind of triangle. We're in a kind of a triangle here. If you kind of draw a trend line here, through there, through here, this is a one. And if you also draw a trend line through there and there, you're kind of in this triangle box, triangle. So, wherever it breaks is where price would likely go. Um, so I can delete that. I don't need to keep those lines. We have a daily close, a daily bullish candle. There's a divergence on this between here and here. And since, to be honest, since we fell to the base here, we've been kind of choppy on RSI sideways. But price has been going up and up and up and up each time up. We're riding the 50 SMA. Um, so I think this thing continues to go up today. I think today is Saturday. You will probably go up today at the very least. And then depending on, like I said, how Sunday closes, I think the probabilities are more likely that Sunday is going to close positive on this. So which means you have small pullback and continue the journey to the upside. Um, so let's move on to the master Bitcoin dominance itself and see what's going on there. So Bitcoin dominance on the weekly chart, we have this inverted candle, which was quite positive because obviously price could not push below the low here. So we kind of having a retrace. It's very similar to this one here. It's similar to this is very similar here. So you're going to go higher. I think we haven't yet gone higher yet. This is 58.8 and this is 58.8. Okay, we've gone higher. We've gone higher. So it depends on the setup on the lower time frame, which will kind of give us an indication of what's likely to happen. Last week we had this area as a bounce target and we didn't quite get there. It was close, but we didn't get there. So let's try and get rid of this. And we didn't get here, so let's get rid of it and have a new view for this week. So if on this particular, we've got a top here, we've got a top there, and we've got a top there. So it's like a triple top on this one. Your MACD There's a divergence between this point here and this point here. So we've gone higher and the RSI is lower. So there's a divergence there. Um, there's divergence also on MACD as well. So I think, we may do a small retrace back in from a lower high possible before we continue the journey to the downside. So I think we are close to, the downside, it's kicking in, but I think there could be a small push to the upside somewhere around like here, somewhere here, and then you continue the leg to the downside. That's what I would say that, by Sunday close, it will be very similar to last week, so you probably get a candle like this, and then after that, you continue the journey to the downside. So we'll be continuing the journey to the downside into this box here, and this is where Bitcoin dominance will get some real strength to really bounce up hard. So what we are seeing now is, I think it's kind of on balance after a small move on 4 hours to about, let's put our interest alert somewhere there. So somewhere here, maybe somewhere there, and then it will continue its journey to the downside. So that's Bitcoin dominance. Let's move on to the total three. So total three on the weekly chart is also got a bit of a divergence forming at the moment. So the week is not closed. Today is Saturday. So provided you close the week like this, then you're going to go higher. If we step into the daily, we see what is going on. We have this inverted candle again, which is good because the bears could not push price below the close of this candle. So you'd expect this to continue going up. I mean, we could test the wick here before, but I would expect that we continue going up tomorrow, today and to tomorrow. At least we would expect that to happen. So that is the others dominance. Would expect at least for us to go up one more time before any potential collapse on this daily chart. The same as the weekly as well. We'd expect one more leg to the upside for us. Maybe a double top, slightly higher. At that point, I think, you could be looking at potential reversal. But I think, this thing goes all the way up to here, around the 1.4 trillion. Is at that point that I think, it'll be worth looking at selling altcoins. So that's total three. And then we move on to uh, Bitcoin itself. So let's look at the perpetual Bitcoin chart from Binance, which has got the most volume of trading. So we've got a few things here. We've got some liquidity zones drawn on the chart. We last week were expecting our bounce target. This was our bounce target. I think maybe I'll put it in the daily so we can see it properly. And let me make it bigger. So this was our bounce target. We were expecting a bounce target into here. Okay, we came to this point. Didn't quite get to the peak of the bounce target, but they've taken all the liquidity basically, which was sitting on this candle, as I was saying. They've taken all of it, okay, and they've left this one is already be taken anyway, and they've left the one from here to here. Now, what I'm seeing on this daily chart before I move back to the weekly is this candle. Clearly, somebody was absorbing the selling. There's a lot of absorption of selling, but it's not a good candle formed in the daily chart because we close below the close of this candle. So I think any move up here is just taking liquidity of this wick. I think we will come back down. So this has done its job. So we can get rid of this box. It's done its job. So delete that box. We'll put a new box in. And so I think again, this we can delete that as well. We don't need it. Oh no, I didn't want to delete that actually. Oh yeah, don't want to delete that. Lock it, please. Yeah, leave it in there. It's for my counts, so leave it in there. So if we look at it from a holistic view, I mean, all this here is one move. All this now is another move. Okay, so when you do such a drop, you expect a big move to the upside. Okay, so like we did a big drop to here and we had a good move up, you'd expect the same to happen. Okay, I think we'll probably come and test the lows. I think we will I would say we come and test these lows here. It's possible. It's possible they run it down here first, before before we head up. But having said that, also looking at this particular, let's bring it to the weekly first. Let's bring it. So I think this week, chances are we'll close green. There's a very high probability that we will close green. Um, Very, very high probability that we'll close green this week. I think they may try to sell it to sell price to somewhere here. They could potentially sell it all the way to here, which would be around the 109, 144. So if we bring it back to the daily, 109, 144, let me put it on the weekly. Our kind of interest box, interest box will be somewhere here. So here, so let's say here. Yeah, let's see somewhere there like that. Yeah. So I think price can, let me just put in here and say text pullback Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Somewhere there, you get a pullback on this weekly candle and you'll be going back up again. So I don't expect us to rattle through for this liquidity just yet. If we close below this line, then we'll be coming all the way back down to probably into the 90s, low 90s. If we close, this candle closes this week by Sunday midnight below the white line, then that's the zone. We'll be back down here. That's where we'll be coming to. We'll be coming towards the night, I would say between 90,000 and 96,000. That's where we'll be coming to if that happens. You'll probably get some support here around 100,000 if that happens, and we'll go and do a retest of the 20 or go slightly higher and then continue the journey to the downside. So we don't really want this candle closing red this week, and we don't want it closing below the 20 EMA. So that's the caveat. I don't think probability wise, I would say 40, mm, there's a 30% chance it happens. There's a 60% chance it doesn't happen. There's too much liquidity to the upside for them to just go for this one and continue pushing price down and leave all these people sitting pretty. So I would say this closes green this week and we continue the journey um, to the upside after pullback here. So if you bring it to 4 hours, for example, and look at the 4 hour chart. So again, we've got a pink candle here, which is an interest candle for me at 109,269. This one is 1093. So we could exceed this. We could test, like I said, this area could be tested. So no wonder it kind of lines up nicely. So we could actually bring this to somewhere here. Yeah, we could test that zone. We could also come all the way down to this point here. So, I think we better make this bigger. Yeah. So this zone will be the area of interest for us as is the area of interest for us. So let's lock it in for a pullback on Bitcoin, and then it continues the journey to the upside. I won't. We will not leave liquidity sitting from here to here at all. No, it won't be left. It will be taken. So, but we expect this candle to be exceeded first. So this candle, we've gone up high and we'll exceed this candle, then we can continue the journey to the upside. So that's Bitcoin's view. We expect a small pullback, continue leg to the downside, to the upside. We don't expect this to collapse at the moment, because this whenever you have these big selling candles, expect a move to the other side. And we've got one here. So we'll be expecting that, after we exceed it, we'll and exceed this candle. you then start looking for your divergences to kind of kick in for you to go to the other side. So that's the look on the kind of prediction on Bitcoin. And tomorrow we'll do altcoins, just altcoins, Bitcoin dominance and altcoins video. I wish you all the best. Take care.